Picture Password. So Picture Password is a new security capability that allows you to take a photo, your own photo, and choose a few gestures, places that you're going to touch. You can either tap or draw a circle or draw a line on the system, something that's very personal to you, and that's your login for Windows. That's how you unlock the system. So in this case, Alice Steinglasses, who was logged on the system previously, is a picture of her son. So I'm just going to tap on each of his eyes and then swipe across mouth, and that's my login. So what you see here is the new start screen for Windows 8, and this is the hub. This is the center of Windows 8. This is where you go to not only launch all your applications, but even without launching apps, I get to see a lot of really rich, updated information just here on the screen. So none of these apps are loaded. I just logged into the system. Nothing's loaded here, except for Windows. And as you can see, the tiles they're kind of alive with activity. They're showing me updated news and weather and stock information. I can see my latest email, my latest calendar appointment. Any app, any Metro style app in Windows 8 is able to have that notification. So for something that the app wants to sort of tell you when you look at it, that's available for it to do. Navigating through the start screen, I'm going to show a touch system here. I'm also going to show a mouse and keyboard system in a little bit. But for touch, it's super easy. I just touch anywhere and slide across the screen. I'm just sliding left to right. In fact, you can see there's a little gray dot there on the screen. That's just a visual aid I've turned on. So throughout the demos here, you can see where my fingers are. And it's really fast and fluid. It's easy for me to just navigate quickly back and forth and get access to all the apps that I have on my system. I'll talk a little also about personalizing this in a little bit. But let's say that I don't have an app on here that I want to have on my system. So just like you sort of come to expect on your phone, acquiring apps should be really, really easy. It should be just a very simple operation. And so I can open the Windows Store here, and the Windows Store is actually a Metro style app, and it loads there. And within the app, I can search for different apps that I want to put on my system. So we have different categories and things. I can get news and lifestyle stuff, and I can of course search and things like that to get access to new applications. If I touch something there, I can drill in and get more information, reviews and things like that. Just again, sort of like you'd expect in a modern app marketplace. One of the things that you don't see here is all the sort of the Chrome that you're used to with Windows. There's no borders, there's no buttons, there's no taskbar. And that's because with Windows 8, our core principle is that for apps, every pixel on screen should belong to the content. It's content over Chrome. It should be something that allows the app developer to make an incredibly rich and immersive and captivating kind of experience. And as you can see here, like 100% of the pixels on screen belong to that app. But of course, within Windows, we want to use a lot of different kinds of apps, and there's some things that you want to do very frequently. And the way we've done that is that I'm just going to, on my system here, if I swipe from the right side of the screen, I bring out something we call charms. And what the charms are is just a standard set of things that are sort of capabilities that you need access to just at any time within any application. I can just swipe on the right side and get access to those charms. I'm going to talk through each of those in more detail in a bit, but just the obvious one here is just right under my thumb is start. So I can go, again, just a very quick gesture, I can get right back to my start screen. And I'll go ahead, I already had cut the rope on the system here, and I'll just launch that up. You can see just great smooth performance here. The really amazing thing about this is that with Windows 8 we have a new developer environment called the Windows Runtime. This is a whole new way of app developers being able to write for Windows 8 Metro style apps. And it not only supports the sort of the technologies that app developers are used to, C, C#, etc., but also web technologies. So HTML5, JavaScript, CSS. In this case, ZeptoLabs, the developer here, has written this app in HTML5. This is their web app that they've taken and very, very easily turned into a full immersive game on the system. So this is all running in HTML5 on this system. Come back out here and show you another one. The eBay app. This is just another quick example of an immersive Metro style application where eBay has been able to take their website and very quickly create a Metro app with that full immersiveness to it. That's, again, you get all the touch navigation stuff just for free as part of that app development environment. And Windows 8 is a huge opportunity, unprecedented opportunity for app developers. There's 1.25 billion Windows PCs in the world today. There's 400 million PCs expected to ship next year. And so you can see that the size of that marketplace and the size of that opportunity for app developers is something that they're really excited about. And so we expect to have a really great, rich set of applications at Windows 8 launch. Okay, I'm going to come over to the laptop here and just show you a few things with mouse and keyboard. So on this system, this is not a touch system, and so I'm just going to do a couple of navigation things using mouse and keyboard to show you how easy that is as well. Lock screen, I just hit enter. This is a traditional password, so I'll just type that in, and as you can see, very quickly I'm able to get back to my start screen. Now, one thing that you'll also see here, if you noticed on the tablet, it had 3 rows of tiles because it was a little lower resolution. With a higher resolution, I get 4 rows of tiles, and this keeps going and going. So you can imagine if you've got a great big desktop monitor, you can have a lot of apps that are really accessible right at your fingertips with that higher resolution. With the mouse, as you expect, if I move the mouse here, I can see the scroll bar. So scroll bar is standard control, a lot of people are familiar with it, so I can use that to navigate across the screen. But it's not always the most convenient way to do. And so you don't have to use that at all. In fact, I can just take the mouse, and if I just bump the edge of the screen here, you can see that I can navigate. I'm doing it kind of slowly here, but you can do it quickly as well. So I can navigate across my entire start screen with just that quick, simple gesture. Of course, if my mouse has a scroll wheel, I can just use the scroll wheel. And so here I'm just scrolling there and moving back and forth. But I can also, let's say I have a lot of apps, and I want to get from the beginning of my list of apps all the way to the end. The easiest way to do that is hit Control and the scroll wheel, and I can sort of step back and zoom out and look at all the apps that are in my start screen. This is something called semantic zoom because it's not zooming out optically; it's just taking a step back, and as you can see, the icons change, and you also got the group headings there that allow you to navigate very quickly. So now I can just jump. I was over at the beginning of the start screen. I can jump over here, and I can easily just jump back as well. So that just shows you how quickly and easily you can navigate around the start screen and see all the different apps. And of course, again, personalization is key, right? I want to customize this so that the view that I see is all the stuff that I really care about and I want to see very easily. So let's say I don't need to see that eBay tile every day. I can just click that, I can move it around, I can drag it over here, I can put it in a different group if I want, drop it over there. Or if I want to, again, I want to get to navigate across the start screen very quickly, I can just click that, I can drag it to the bottom, zoom out, drop it over here, drop it over there. So it's just, oh, maybe I want to come back, so I'll pop it over there. So it's just really super easy to use and to get around the start screen and really sort of customize that layout for what you want to see. Of course, the fastest way to get around with a keyboard is actually search. And so if I know that Excel is, I've got an icon for a tile for Excel here somewhere, but I don't know where that is. So I'm just going to actually just type in EXC, and as I start typing, you see that it was narrowing the search scope down to what I was typing, and so I can enter, and very quickly I can just get exactly what I want to open. And as you can see, this is just Excel. This is like the normal desktop version of Excel. So all your desktop apps that work on Windows 7 work on Windows 8 as well. And you can do the same sorts of things with Windows 8 in terms of the desktop navigation and customization as well. So for example, I can pin things to my start menu. I can take windows and I can do all the window management stuff that we got in Windows 7. So I can snap those or maximize it and whatnot. And of course I can Alt Tab between things. As well, so back to desktop or whatnot. But one of the other cool things that we can do is if I go back to the start screen here, and let's say I want to have my news feed going, because I'm looking for some information on a story that I've been watching. I can Alt Tab back to Excel. I've got that there, and again, so now those Metro apps are right there in the same Alt Tab view. So again, the keyboard shortcuts that you're familiar with all still work. But some cool things, I can also reach up there, I can grab that news feed, and I can drop it right there next to my desktop. So now I can see sort of what's going on in my headlines as I'm doing work. And as you expect, again, I can also sort of snap those windows and have multiple things going on the desktop simultaneously as well. Okay, I'm going to come over back to a touch-enabled system here and show you a little more about the charms. And the first charm I'm going to show is the settings charm. So I slide out with my right thumb and slide out from the right edge. And as you can see, I've got the sort of standardized controls that are sort of pervasive across the entire system and at my fingertips. So the settings charm gives me access to the PC settings that I'm going to use really frequently as I'm sort of wandering around maybe with my tablet. I want to change the brightness, I want to change the volume. Maybe I'm watching a movie, so I want to turn off notifications so that nothing obscures that movie or game. And so I can do that all from just one quick gesture with my thumb, and pop into those settings. We also have, there's another settings area here that's available to apps. So if I'm running a Metro style app and it has settings of its own, instead of having to have the developer having to code like a new menu and a new view for those settings, they just can say, oh, here are my settings that I want you to expose in the settings charm. So that's all available there. And then of course we can jump into more settings just by hitting that all PC settings there at the bottom. And I won't go through all these different settings, but I will talk about personalization because again that's something that we think is very, very important for how you use your PC. And as you'd expect, I can change my lock screen photo, I can change in my start screen, I can change the background, I can change the background texture, just to give a little different example there. And I can change my account picture. In this case, Steve was the demoer who was on here before me. It's his picture. I could use the webcam and take a photo, but I also want to show you a little some other stuff, some new controls here. What you're seeing here is something that we call Picker. This is basically a new take on File Explorer because navigating files should also be very fast and fluid and easy as well. And so again, I've got all those same touch controls. I can just pan that list. It's all really easy to do with my fingertips. If I hit files there, I can drop down, and you can see sort of all the places that you're familiar with on your PC. Because again, this is your PC. You don't have, it's not another device. You have to sync things to it. It's got your photos, it's got your documents, and of course you can access the network and home groups and things like that, all from here. Something that's new and really cool capability in Windows 8 is that also apps that have their own stuff to expose can basically say, hey, I have stuff too. It's something we call a contract. So in this case, we have a couple of apps on the system that are basically saying, I've got access to more of your data. The photo feeder is just a little sample app we wrote. It's sort of like a photo sharing, like a Flickr style application. And then Socialite uses the Facebook APIs to access Facebook. And so these are just little quick demo apps that we wrote just to show this off. And so in this case, I'm gonna hit photo feeder, and it's now going out to the web to where I've stored those photos. And there's the picture I want. So I hit that, and boom, it's pulled that back down to my system and set that as an account picture. Of course, getting access to information is something that you want to do from a lot of different places, and so search is incredibly important, and it actually is the top charm that we have there. So now I can search for anything I want, and as you can see, there's a number of different search scopes here that are available. I can search apps, I can search settings, search files, but again, I have those apps that are on my system that say, hey, I've got stuff you can search too, and so I'll give you an example of that. So I'll hit Socialite, which is our little Facebook app, and I'm just going to look for my friend Jason. And there he is, and there's his wall, and so again, I just add just a few taps, I can get access to sort of what's going on with him. But since I've already searched for Jason, I can also search across all those other scopes as well. So I know that Jason's given me some photos, so I'll hit Files here, and here are the photos that are on my system that correspond to Jason. Of course, the internet is probably the #1 place that people will be searching. So from search, I can hit IE, and again, I've already typed that search in. It's got the scope, so it just defaulted to Jason Beaumont there. This is the Metro style IE in Windows 8, and just like all Metro style apps, it's 100% of the screen real estate. There's no edge to edge. It owns the entire screen. But IE can't just have the page itself and no controls, right? So where are those? Let me show you. Just like at the right edge, when I swipe out from the right edge, I get system controls. If I swipe from the top or bottom, I get the app controls. So just swiping down from the top, you can see that these are the controls that the IE application has exposed. So I get my URL bar, I get some tools, I also get a number of websites that I have open on this system, and so I can just tap another page there.
and jump quickly into that page. And then if I want to go back, I just touch anywhere and slide back, and I can go back to the other pages that I was viewing previously. So it's just a touch and slide, and I can go back and forth. Really easy and simple to use. Also, because this is IE under the covers, it's got all the power of the IE10 engine. It's full HTML standard support, so I've got HTML5 video without having plugins. It's super fast. It's all hardware accelerated, so I can zoom in like that, and it just, zoom in, zoom out. It's very fast, and as you can see, as it scales up, because it's hardware accelerated, the fonts scale beautifully. It looks great at any resolution, and so I get all that like richness of IE. But one of the things that I like to do, as I'm browsing, is like I'll find new information, stuff that I want to share with friends or coworkers, and so you kind of hope sometimes you go to a website and you're like, I hope it's got that the thing that allows me to share it to Facebook right here, because otherwise I've got to copy the URL and open Facebook and all that kind of stuff. So we've made that really incredibly easy for you to do. And so in this case, let's say here's a recipe, it looks good. So I'm just going to select a little text there, and oops, all right, here's a place that looks really good. I swiped too much. And I swipe out. I can hit the share charm, and once again, apps that are on my system that basically say I can share stuff, they've exposed that ability through the app contracts. So here I have a few apps. I can mail that to somebody. I can post it to Facebook via Socialite, or I can send it with this little friend send app that I chose to install, and copies the text in. I can add a message here. I'll just looks good. And as you can see, as I type, because I mistyped that, I get autocorrect. I get spell check. The app developer doesn't have to write any of that. The operating system provides it. So it just makes it that much easier for apps to do what they need to do. As I do this, you also see the touch keyboard here. Touch keyboard, really sort of familiar interface. If you see any kind of tablet, you've seen a touch keyboard like this. But we do a couple other cool things. And of course, it's Windows, so we have full pen support if you have a stylus. And we also do a split keyboard. So this allows you to, if you're walking around maybe with your system and you want to like punch out a quick message, it's kind of inconvenient to like hold it and do this. So you can type with your thumbs with this split keyboard. And of course, because it's personalized to you and everybody's got different sized hands, you can just easily size that up. I got a little bigger hands, so I can pick the right keyboard size for me. It's super easy to do. Okay. Of course, you get all this capability. You can get lots and lots of apps that will be out for Windows 8, and let's say that you've got a bunch of different things that are all open at the same time. We'll just do a few things there, and I'll show you how we make sure that you get all of the power of the PC that you bought with Windows 8. So I've got a bunch of apps loaded here, and moving back and forth between those apps. Let me just show you how fast and fluid this is. I'm just flipping from the left side of the screen, and as I flick through things here, it's switching the apps, so I can really easily and quickly navigate across all the apps that are running on my system. But when those apps go into the background, I don't want them sort of burning a lot of CPU activity and draining my battery. And so even though I've got all those apps going, with Windows 8, just bring up Task Manager here and show you the apps that are not in the foreground are using zero CPU. So we suspend that app as it goes to the background, so that the foreground app, your game or your video or whatever, gets all the attention of the system. But even though it's suspended, I can still flick back and forth through these apps very, very quickly and easily, and you can see there's no lag or performance drawback for the fact that they're suspended. And in fact, you just saw at the end there, it quickly went from a little CPU down to 0. Of course, there are times where I just want to close it. I don't want it to be running. I just want to close it. Well, I could do that with Task Manager, but that's kind of not like an elegant way to do it. And you shouldn't really have to go in there very often. So let's say I've got some apps that are running on my system here. And I'll actually just show you this a couple different ways. So first thing is I'll bring up an app and just dock that and show you that I can take an app here, and all I'm doing is swiping down from the top and then just flipping it off the screen there. And now that app is closed. I can do that whether it's docked or whether it's on either side of the dock, or whether it's full screen. Again, just swipe down and pull it off the page. And as you can see, the app completely closes. So again, you get to manage it however you want. and have that complete control and personalization. Windows 8, again, as I said, we designed it to be really a no-compromise solution. It's something that will work on everything from low end, from ARM-based systems, all the way up to really powerful big gaming rigs and enterprise-class machines, things like that. And again, it works great whether it's touch, mouse and keyboard, combination of both. In fact, I enjoy. With the system I was telling you about earlier, that as I dock this and I have my big monitor, I'll be touching over here, I'll be swiping through the start screen and navigating, and opening apps and have them load on my desktop, and then I use my mouse and keyboard, to actually work with the app. So you get a lot of really amazing capabilities. So the next preview that you'll see for Windows 8, it will be end of February. We haven't announced the launch date for it yet, but we will have a download that anybody can get access to end of February. We've had 3 million downloads already of our developer preview that we started giving away in September. So a lot of excitement. Hopefully you saw some cool stuff here that you like, and thank you for your time.